What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. And you know, regardless of how you personally feel about Ezra Miller and his little crime spree back in 2022, okay, he was always going to be in The Flash simply for the reason that it was too expensive to reshoot, okay? I personally thought they should have just bit the bullet, go ahead, send somebody else in there to play this character, get Ezra Miller out of there because this guy was just going to be bad for business, okay? I personally felt that, but I understand the business side of it. It was going to be a lot, probably in the neighborhood of $100 million to reshoot the entire film. And they just didn't have to, you know, they don't have the bread like that, right? Warner Brothers is still kind of bleeding money, right? They had to cut off all kind of other projects and stop doing things a certain way in order to get back into the black, all right? So I understand that. And plus, it would have taken a lot of guts to actually dump them, okay? I mean, not just because there would have been amazing woke outrage. I mean, can you imagine the woke outrage that Warner Brothers would have gotten? Can you imagine how bad that thing would have got if they had just simply said, he's out of the movie, okay? Twitter would have been a hotbed of activity for months over this dude getting fired. But not only that, but because of what James Gunn is saying right here, that basically The Flash is supposedly the greatest superhero movie in the history of superhero movies, which I don't necessarily have a hard problem believing because I think that Andy Muschietti is a decent enough director, okay? And they have a good story that they can tell. So I actually believe that, yeah, this is probably going to be a pretty good movie, all right? So business-wise, I can understand that. But here's the thing. Don't hold your breath about what he's saying here on this second half, that, you know, his entire DC future is going to be decided after his recovery, okay? Don't bet on that, all right? And here's the reason why. As you can see, the Flash star Kiersey Clemons addresses Ezra Miller drama. A lot of people go through that. That's a lot of people deal with this stuff. The cognitive dissonance in Hollywood, it's just amazing. But this guy's got a lot of people in his corner, right? Guy's got a lot of people in his corner. And give Hollywood credit, man. Give them credit. They have their weirdos backs, man. They have their weirdos backs to the fullest. Some of y'all wouldn't have y'all homies back for the slightest infraction. He ran a red light. I don't know this man. I have no idea who you talking about. Never seen him before in my life. But this cat, man, this dude went from one side of the country to the other, right? And from Hawaii to Vermont, causing all kinds of calamity and chaos. Remember, we went through the timeline of all the different events that he went through. I'll go ahead and link that video up if you haven't seen it. This guy went from burglary, harassment, disorderly conduct, assault, protective orders. He even ended up with like cult leader status. And they still got his back. He literally threw a chair at a woman and they still got his back. That's crazy right there, bro. But yeah, his Flash co-star Kiersey Clemons, oh yeah, he's good. He's in my good books, man. This is my dude, right? Get ready for that. It's going to be a lot more of this, okay? But let's go ahead and check out what she has to say. Despite a year of controversies and legal trouble for star Ezra Miller, The Flash is still racing to the finish line with a June 16 release planned by Warner Brothers. Not only is the movie finally set to hit theaters after years of false starts and creative setbacks, but DC Studios co-chief James Gunn went so far as to call it probably one of the greatest superhero movies ever made during a recent press conference. And then speaking to The Hollywood Reporter a few days later, The Flash co-star Kiersey Clemons, who plays the Scarlet Speedster's love interest Iris West, agreed with Gunn's assessment and weighed in on Miller's struggles in the public eye. I've known Ezra for years, and I loved working with director Andy Muschietti, she said. Despite everything, we had a really great time filming, and we did really make a really great movie. I hope that despite all the headlines, people really enjoy the movie because what James said is true. Clemons also said it's been tough to watch Miller, who identifies as non-binary, uses they, them pronouns. Look, I can't get used to the stuff with the pronouns, okay? His mama called him Clay, I'm gonna call him Clay. So if you hear me say he, that's just what I mean because he's a he, in my opinion, okay? Go through numerous scandals the past year, including multiple arrests and misconduct allegations. In August, Miller publicly shared that they had begun ongoing treatment to address complex mental health issues. And DC Studios co-chief Peter Safran said earlier this week that he and Gunn are fully supporters of that treatment. Yeah, we all want people to get the treatment that they need, okay? But, you know, there has to be a price to pay for some of the nonsense that you've been doing. And what people forget is that a lot of people go through that, but they don't do it with the whole world watching, Clemens told THR of Miller's mental health issues. Although it comes with the territory, it's really unfair, and that has been hard watching that. Yeah, a lot of people go through that. You're right, okay? And a lot of people go to jail for that, okay? A lot of people go to jail for what Ezra Miller's doing. If I was doing that nonsense, I would be in jail, okay? For years, all right? For a long time. Man, this guy is not a victim. Why do they keep trying to paint this dude as the victim of all of this stuff? Okay, I understand mental health is a problem for a lot of people in society. I get it, okay? I completely get it. But if any of us had these mental health issues and they were true and correct mental health issues, we would be taken off the streets, okay? Yes, we would be treated with some care, hopefully, treated with some care, treated with some compassion, but we would be taken off the streets, all right? Off we go, off into a mental health facility, okay? Not on the set of movies, making movies, coming to red carpet event. We wouldn't be doing all of that, okay? That's the problem that people have with this. He's saying, oh, it comes with the territory and it's really unfair. What's unfair? What's unfair is getting your house broken into, okay? Look at all look, all of this is the stuff that Ezra Miller was doing, okay? Let's talk about what's unfair. All right, shouting obscenities and physically accosting patrons of a karaoke bar. Unfair to these guys. Later, physical altercation at a private residence, okay, where he threw a chair and hit a woman in the head, leaving a gash, okay? That's unfair to that woman. Okay, a woman and her 12-year-old child had to get a temporary restraining order against the guy. That's unfair to this woman and her child. A Vermont man accused Miller of exposing his children to guns and drugs, okay? Unfair to this guy. Then he got charged with felony burglary for stealing from a private residence. The owner of this private residence, who of course, downplayed the charge. That's why he was able to plead guilty to a lesser misdemeanor. But nevertheless, all of these people are victims in here, okay? Not this dude and his mental health. I get it. Yeah, maybe he's a victim of his own mental health, but that ain't these cats' fault. Stop treating, I understand this, good. I get it. This guy's, he's got issues, okay? But stop treating him like he's the victim, okay? He's the one doing this shit. I mean, good God, all right? That's the one thing I gotta say, man. Hollywood has they weirdos backs, man. They had a backs to the fullest, okay? They back they play. Oh, it was so hard watching Ezra Miller break into people's houses and steal stuff and assault women with a chair and all. Oh, it was such a hard thing to watch, okay? It was so unfair for Ezra. Oh, I just wish for once these cats would just walk in normal shoes and just see the world from outside the Hollywood bubble, okay? All right, I understand you're close to these folks, you know them, they're your colleagues, but you guys got to step on the outside and see what everybody else is seeing. It looks like a rich, spoiled brat, all right? Just running amok, doing whatever it is that he wants to do and not paying any consequences for it whatsoever. He's probably going to continue to play the Flash. Utterly unbelievable. Anyway, folks, what do you think about this situation with Ezra Miller and all of the nonsense and people coming to his defense saying that, oh, the poor guy, it's been so hard, it's been unfair for this guy, and it's been hard for me to sit back and watch it and all of that kind of stuff. It's what a lot of people go through. Yeah, a lot of people would have been in jail for doing what Ezra Miller did. But you guys go ahead, jump down in the comments. Let me know what you think about that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.